Good afternoon, beautiful people. What is going on? Your boy Rome himself is here, and I am back from vacation. I'm back home and recovered. I was in Daytona Beach for CEO over the past weekend. If you don't know what CEO is, it's one of the big three, one of the bigger fighting game tournaments, and I was there lending my voice as usual. I was commentating KOF, some Street Fighter 6, and some Capcom vs SNK 2. If you didn't catch the event, I think you should definitely check it out, and I will leave a link to at least the KOF side of the bracket in the description below.
Got the homie in the background. That Moose is goated, bro. He is iced out right now. Get thrown, though.
Iced out. Yeah, he's like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah. What?
You know what I'm talking about?
No. The only thing I know about Shadow the Hedgehog is that he likes Latinas, bro. He's just like me.
We are here to talk about something else today. As you can clearly see on the screen, SNK dropped a schedule update for the SNK World Championships 2025, which is something we have been waiting for some time. We got some concrete news just to find out what is going on, and I haven't really been able to go through this, so I figured why not sit down here and talk to you beautiful people and go through all the details and see exactly what SNK has updated us on. Before we jump into details, you already know, like, subscribe, comment. Yeah. First things first, the SNK World Championships 2025 is a continuation of the World Championships that they have done over the past few years. They had one for Samurai Showdown in 2019. They were going to have one in 2020, but you know, that got shut down due to lockdown. We just had the SNK World Championships 2023/2024, which took place in March, so about 2 months ago. But now SNK is going to be having a new one that is next year. This one is only going to have KOF 15, or at least for now, who knows. But at the moment, they, like I said, dropped some news on it. So just going to go through here. As you can see, starting off, the SNK World Championships 2025 is where players will vie for the position of world #1 in SNK fighting game titles. Qualifying tournaments will be held in various regions across the world, and the victors will be invited to SWC 2025, held in 2025. So the tournament overview is basically what you'd expect. It's what they've been going by with the previous SWCs, basically saying that the game is the KOF 15. That's where you'll be playing. The prize and all the details are be published at a later date. The prize pot for the SWC 2023 was 50,000. So of course, we're hoping that this one will be bigger than that. But you know, we'll find out when they announce it. And of course, certain major esports events will be recognized as qualifier tournaments. So unlike some other you know, world championship events, I think like Tekken and Street Fighter, some of them have like a point system where some tournaments you earn a certain amount of points, and then if you have enough, that qualifies you. But for SNK, it's all winning spots, so it's only qualifier spots. There's no point system. You'd have to win the designated tournaments in order to qualify for the World Championships. And right off the bat, we have 12 qualifying tournaments, and they already updated the schedule. So first off rip, shout outs to SNK for this. I know one of the complaints a lot of players had, and a justifiable complaint at that, is that they felt that SNK was announcing some of these tournaments a little bit too close, right? Like an event like Combo Breaker, I think it was announced maybe a week or 2 weeks before that it would be a qualifying event. And you know, these events ain't cheap, folks, especially if you're not sponsored, especially if you have a family and other priorities. It's hard to make that chance on a whim and just travel out to play, even if you feel like you have a chance that you can qualify. So off rip, this is good. We at least know 12 tournaments in advance. So if you want to plan for these events, here's your schedule. You can set up, you can practice, you can save some money, put money to the side, and start to plan your trips. So looking at the first events, these two are already selected, Evo Japan and Combo Breaker. We have our spots for those. Remember, Evo Japan was won by ET, and Combo Breaker was won by Violent Kane. Evo 2024 is about 2 weeks from now, so we'll find out the winner for this one here. But these are the other events. Of course, you have the FV Major versus Fighting. You have the Fight. You have Night 2, I think. Oh, Hype Fight, sorry, GHC Hype Fight 2. Shout outs to the Peruvian gods out there. UFA, Fight for Glory, Battle Coliseum, which is dope. I like the logo because it's a homage to Battle Coliseum. CEO Taku, which I should be at for that one. And of course, Frosty Faustings, which I also should be at. So the interesting thing here is that it only shows 12 qualifying spots. And if you remember, the SWC had 30 qualifying spots last year, or this year, I should say. The one that just passed, it was 30 qualifier spots and 2 was won by the LCQ. So, you know, this is kind of questionable. We're not sure. Is it going to be maybe 16 slots with 4 LCQs? I think, you know, before we even scroll down, I just think that this is what the immediate schedule is like, and SNK will tack on other events because there's still going to be more tournaments happening on throughout, right? A tournament like ECT is one that had a spot last time, and I, you know, not just because it's one of my home tournaments, but I do hope that that tournament can, you know, be here and get a spot because it's a really good tournament. But that's besides the point. You know, there's a lot of regions here that you don't see. If you just look at some of them, you know, we have UK, we have Colombia, Peru. There's not many in Asia, right? We had Evo Japan, but that happened already. So there's not many events, and that's quite interesting, right? I mean, you know, Asia as a whole, you know, whether you figure China, Japan, Korea is some of the biggest regions in KOF, and I can't imagine that they won't go without spots. Maybe their spots might be online qualifiers, like there were some in the past. Of course, we'll have to stick to for that. But another thing that comes out of that, if those spots we don't have, let's say we don't have any events out there just yet, right? Remember last year, we had regional qualifier spots and we had global. Now the difference was a global qualifier spot means anyone can go to, it was global. So if you wanted to go and attend the event, you can travel there and you can win that tournament. The regional spots were only for set region, meaning if you're a player out of America, if you're in the United States, you can only qualify for that tournament. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, someone from Japan entered, right? Let's say someone from Japan comes here and they enter that regional tournament and they won. They could have won the tournament, but if second place was the American player, second place would have gotten the qualifier spot. So that made things a little more balanced, right? You know, obviously some regions are stronger than others, and it made it so that some players, you could almost guarantee spots from a certain region, right? If you have a region locked event. And it seems here, or at least we haven't read that part yet, but it looks here that these events, at least the ones that they announced here, are not regional events, and that they overall are going to be global, which means anyone from around the world can go, which could mean a few things. Actually, it could mean one region could travel everywhere and dominate, or it could be cool. You could see players. I'm looking at this GHZ tournament in Peru. You could see some really strong players. Maybe Shanghai doesn't qualify at Evo, right? Maybe he loses, and then he's like, you know what? Let me go to the Peruvian tournament, or let me go all the way to the UK and enter the versus fighting event. Like that can increase the competition across the board, making it harder for you to get a spot this time around, as opposed to it being region locked, where, you know, it's still going to be tough, but you don't have to worry about the X factor of players from different regions and vice versa. All right, here's an important notice here. Please note the following with respect to the SNK World Championship 2025 and KOF 15 qualifying tournament, qualifying tournament in parentheses. So this here is just saying the qualifying tournaments, pretty much the rules are all dictated by the respective tournament organizers. So what this means is that the general rules for how to qualify is up to the event's discretion. Winners, losers, and grand finals is generally, you know, 3 out of 5, double elimination. But if someone wanted to run one of these tournaments and make it single elimination, you would still get the qualifier spot. That's up to that tournament. So that rule set has nothing to do on how you get to the SWC. Obviously the SWC themselves will have their own format and ruling, but yeah, that's what that means more or less. So the winner gets a guaranteed spot, as we know. If the following hold true for the intended recipient of the spot will be transferred to the next eligible player. If there are multiple eligible candidates, the spot will be transferred to a separate qualifying tournament instead. Okay, so it looks like, if any of the following hold true for the intended recipient of the spot. So it looks like if there's multiple candidates that can qualify, they'll just move it to a different tournament. But they are going to be moving spots this time, and that's something else that is important. I'm glad they said important up here. Something else that is important. If you remember at the SWC this year, we had 4 players who had visa issues who couldn't make it out to the SWC, and because of that, instead of it being 32 players, we ended up only having 28 players play in the SWC. So again, I think this is a great upgrade here. Let's move the qualifying spots to another player if someone's ineligible to go, just so you can have a full 32, or in this case, what we're not sure yet, amount of players to be in this event here. SWC management will contact players who have earned a spot about their willingness to compete at the SWC 2025. Players from whom a response is not received within 1 week of contact will be deemed to have withdrawn from running. In such cases, the responses will be transferred. God damn, SNK said we're going to email you and you have 1 week to respond. You better come to this tournament. You better make sure your phone bill is paid. You better make sure that you have time at work to sneak in a call and or check your emails and check and verify, because that would be a shame. That would be a shame to qualify and then you don't answer your email. Next minute you know, you lose that spot. So, and this is just rules again from the SWC. You know, you have to be a certain age in order to play. You know, whoever received the spot fails to attend SWC. So it's basically saying you'll be disqualified. Your spot will be moved. If you do qualify and is unable to attend, they will just move your qualifying spot. But this here is interesting. So I'm gonna just highlight this really quickly. SWC management will pay either or partially in or full each invited competitor's travel and accommodation expenses in line with standards to be finalized separately at a later date. So, you know, if I recall correctly, the SWC paid for the players. They got their flights, they got their hotels. Same with the staff, you know, they took very well care of us there. And I'm sure this is the same thing, but it's saying either partially or in full. I'm wondering maybe if like you only pay partially if the person lives in the region where the event takes place. Like if you live in Hollywood where they did the Hollywood event this year, like, you know, you don't have to buy a flight for that or even a hotel. So maybe you could, you know, you're paying them for playing and not paying them the full travel expense. Not sure what that means, but I do hope that, you know, everyone is still able to be accommodated, which I'm sure that will be the case. Is just, you know, this stuck out to me and I just wanted to make sure I got over it. That's all. And yeah, the rest is just, you know, gotta have a passport, you know what I mean? If you're trying to travel, which obviously was an issue last time, you know, getting visas and passports and stuff like that to travel to different countries. I can't imagine how hard it is for people coming from other countries to America. I know for us, it's particularly easy, excuse me, for me to just travel to another country. But I can't imagine for others. I just hope that that's not too much of a problem. And, you know, the prize pot, obviously, it's going to be subject to, you know, you're going to get taxed and all that other stuff. So that's just all the information regarding the rules and things like that, you know, which I'm sure, again, they'll cover on when they get to like a personal date. And last but not least, this is just saying we're going to be getting personal information about the players for, you know, photographs, videos, stuff like that to promote the event, you know, and then just saying here things could happen, you know, the events could get canceled, you know, events could get postponed. We saw that already with the pandemic SWC, where that one got canceled, unfortunately. And I feel bad for the Samurai Showdown players because they never really got that like super big event to like pay everything off. But, you know, it is what it is. Things happen, and that's basically all it is. So yeah, I just wanted to go over that really briefly because I thought this was interesting and cool. Of course, I'll be keeping an ear close to the ground because I'm so deep into this stuff here, and I just want to look into every orifice if we can. But, you know, the most important things coming out of this is that we have at least a solid schedule going forward for some games here. The SWC spots could be less or more. We're not too sure for last year. We don't know if there's going to be an LCQ. We don't even know where the location is. The location might not be in Hollywood this year. It could be in a different country. So, you know, we will find out more details as we go. Of course, Evo, like I said, is on the way here. That one is super close. And with the SNK dropping the news about the season 3, that just makes things a lot more interesting, right? So the new qualifier tournaments, new patch, new characters, like they said, will be announced at Evo. It's just gonna be a lot of hype news going on, guys, and I'm looking forward to all of this. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Just wanted to drop something short really quickly for you guys here while I work on my next scripted video. So definitely keep it locked. Again, subscribe to the channel if you aren't. If you have anything in the comments, let me know. Let's talk about it. How do you guys feel about any of these tournaments? Will you be attending these tournaments? Just let me know. If anything, I'll see you guys there. But I'm Rome himself. You've been great, and I'll see you next time.
That's all for now, fighters. But if you've enjoyed what you've seen, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to follow Rome's social media pages down below. Take care, see you next time, and most importantly, thank you for watching.